Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hope claps back at Steffy and Thomas prodigies if his family has been right all along. Wednesday, March 20th, 2024 moment on the Bold and the Beautiful. Ridge consoles his son, Hope defends herself, and Steffy put Hope on notice. All products and services featured are singly chosen by editors. Still, soaps.com may admit a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may admit certain auditable data for counting purposes. In Forrester's main office, Hope tells Steffy she had no right to tell Thomas to end effects with her. She no way meant to hurt him, she's just not ready for another marriage. Steffy scoffs, so, you're just toying with his feelings? Hope is just being honest with him. Steffy thinks she loves the attention and the devotion. Hope argues she's esteeming Thomas by being honest with him. She supposes Steffy would appreciate the position of tone mindfulness to know that she's not yet ready for that position of commitment. Steffy thinks Hope is using him. You don't love Thomas. You no way have. In the design office, Thomas asks Brooke, am I a fool? He wants to know how Hope really feels about him. Just also, Ridge comes by and asks, what's going on? He turns to Thomas and asks if he's alright. Brooke says Thomas wants to know what her son feels for him. Thomas clarifies that he wants to know if they've a future together. He tells his pater that he proposed to Hope again. Thomas loves her, and knows she loves him, she eventually said so. But she turned him down again. At Il Giardino, Carter and Liam agree that it feels good to be there and not have to worry about Sheila. Liam says he can worry about Thomas rather. Carter realizes he's really concerned that if Hope can't commit to Thomas he'll lose it again. Liam can admit that he's seen some apparent change in Thomas, but this is what he does. Carter argues, I work with the Joe every day. There's no doubt he's a different Joe than he was ahead. He concedes that Liam has a point, still, about what might be if Hope rejects him. Liam says they've veritably good reasons to worry. In the main office, Steffy can see what Hope's doing. Hope smothers, you don't know what I feel or what Thomas means to me. Steffy knows she turned down his offer and is playing with his feelings. She reminds her he was obsessed with her in the history and she doesn't feel to watch now. She calls her inhuman. Steffy's sure she got through to Thomas and that he'll end their relationship formally and for all. Steffy Hope B&B in the design office, Ridge tells Thomas he's sorry, he can see how disappointed he is. Thomas nods. He's disappointed and stupefied. He allowed. They were on the same runner. Brooke says Hope is worried too, she didn't want to hurt him. Thomas still wants to know how she feels about him. He worries he's been deluding himself, Steffy sure seems to suppose so. He reveals that his family told him to move on with his life without Hope. At Il Giardino, Liam tells Carter that if Hope rejects Thomas, it could get unattractive. Carter concedes, given his history, I can't say I differ. He understands why Steffy is concerned that he might be setting himself up for a fall. Talk turns to the ring around Hope's neck. Liam's enough certain that Hope will no way put it on her cutlet. He feels that Hope can't marry Thomas, because that would be a disaster, and she also can't turn him down, because that would be a disaster. It risks setting him off, further than that, it risks Steffy and her wrath. Nothing wants to make an adversary out of Steffy. Carter counsels that fussing doesn't help. Liam's induced that Hope can't ever accept Thomas' offer. Steffy is fiercely determined to keep her family from backsliding, and this is just the thing that could do that. Carter agrees that no bone wants to be on Steffy's bad side. In the main office, Hope argues with Steffy that she and Thomas have been good for each other. Steffy thinks it's been good for Hope. The relationship is one-sided. Hope tells her she's wrong and Thomas doesn't feel that way. Steffy thinks Hope should have put up boundaries as soon as Thomas expressed interest. She's leading him on. Hope denies it. Steffy knows Thomas eventually sees her for who she truly is, You just going to take and take and take, and when you eventually done with him, you'll walk down and leave him to pick up the pieces. Hope argues that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Thomas is one of her stylish musketeers. We make each other better people. You really don't watch about him at each, do you? She tells Steffy that her family is someone she can count on and who cares about her. Steffy smugly replies, not presently. Hope Indiana the design office. Brooke asks Thomas if Hope is ready to commit. Would he really want her to accept his offer? She's not sure what to tell him about her son. Ridge asks for a moment and Brooke leaves. Ridge hates to see his son confused like this. Thomas muses, perhaps I am not confused. Perhaps Steffy's right. Ridge Brooke Thomas B&B in the main office. Steffy tells Hope that Thomas hurt her. Hope will make sure he hears her too. Just because she didn't accept his offer, that doesn't mean their relationship is over. Steffy complains that everything is on Hope's terms. Do you hear yourself right now? Hope says that's not fair. Steffy argues, what you redoing to Thomas isn't fair, it's like it's some kind of game. Hope groans. Do you really have to butt into everything? She reminds her she just got out of a marriage, walking down the aisle isn't her top precedence. Steffy snaps, neither is Thomas. Hope informs Steffy that she loves her family. They partake a child together and that alone should be enough for her to back off. How dare you, she smothers. How dare you intrude? Steffy Hope at Il Giardino. Carter says he should head back to the office. Liam says, me too. He thanks Carter for hearkening. Speaking of, I know Ridge is your stylish friend. He wouldn't tell him everything he said, will he? Carter's not a gossip. He thinks Liam has reason to be concerned, as does Steffy. Liam hopes Steffy takes charge if Thomas goes off the rails. They bandy how commanding and beautiful Steffy is. Carter says she's also veritably wedded. In the design office, Ridge tells Thomas that he and Brooke were just talking about how he and Hope could lead the company and family together. Thomas aloud. That's what they were going to do, but she wouldn't accept his offer. She wouldn't be his woman. Ridge shrugs, perhaps she needs further time. Thomas says Steffy told him Hope is just playing with his passions. Has Steffy been right each along? Ridge says, come then, and pulls Thomas into a clinch. Thomas Crest in the main office. Hope asks why Steffy must contend on snooping. Steffy cites her family's internal health and well-being. Hope says he's forfeiture. Steffy snaps that she was just with him and he's devastated. I am not going to sit back and watch you use him. Hope says she easily has no understanding of what they partake. I watch about him. Steffy says, if you do, also leave him. She accuses Hope of using him like some kind of disgusting coitus toy. He's fully devoted to you, Hope, and you're not giving him anything in return. Hope said no to marriage, not to Thomas. She, Thomas, and the kiddies are a family and nothing is going to change that. Steffy's well apprehensive, which makes the situation indeed more insupportable. God. It really happed. You have gone full Logan. You're exactly like Brooke, selfish, tone-centered, you throwing yourself at a Forrester. You don't watch about tearing a family piecemeal. You don't watch about hurting people. Well, I am not going to let that be anymore. However, I am going to make sure he does, if Thomas hasn't decided to end effects with you. You're done using and abusing my family, do you hear me? Those days are over. It's over, Hope.